Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox. Happy Monday afternoon. We are tracking storms in the northern portion of the U.S. and we're not talking about severe storms necessarily, it's more of those snowstorms. Now what we're seeing here is the polar vortex is taking a dip into the U.S., bringing us those cold Canadian temperatures, and that is also bringing us the potential for snow and very, very cold weather across the northern portion of the U.S. You go out to the west, we have an atmospheric river that is causing mud and rock slides across the area, the potential for, as I mentioned earlier, an avalanche as well, and flooding from all of this moisture is going to be a problem today, tomorrow, and through the middle of the work week. This is going to be a prolonged system that's not going to go away in the next 24 hours. And then as we head into the next few hours, we are also watching for that mid-Atlantic snowfall, so another chance for snow across some of our eastern states ongoing for today. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we saw over the last 24 hours. Got some snow up in the northern states, as we mentioned earlier. Also some snow across the mid-Atlantic. Hey, Chipper's on here today saying, "Hail team," I think. I'm not quite sure exactly what that says, but we appreciate you joining us today. HailTrace team, we are here on this Monday afternoon, not tracking any hail today. Actually, your hail risk for today is very, very, very low. It's going to be more of that snow risk up to the north, and you can see that we've got some bands of snow that are setting up across North and South Dakota today, and then, as I mentioned earlier, across the Virginias as well. Let's go through, it's kind of around the radar here, taking a look outside of the Virginias. Grab a drink of water real quick. You can see that line that switches over from snow down to rain. We've got some ice potential in here as well. We talked about this last week, where just across the Appalachians, this is a very, very common area for some freezing rain and ice. That's something that happens very often in this area, as always causing some very tricky travel, so make sure that you're checking your local weather before you get out the door today. North and South Dakota, and for a decent amount of snow over the next few days, and all of this thanks to an atmospheric river. Basically what that means is we're taking all of this moisture that's coming off of the Pacific and into our northwestern portion of the U.S. All of this moisture will either turn into a ton of rain or a lot of snow. And that could cause not only those rock and mudslides, but also potential avalanche issues. And we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes as well. We have a dip in the jet stream today, which basically what that means is it's bringing that cold Canadian air down into places like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and even as far south as the Midwest. Now, how cold are we talking? Well, it's 14 degrees right now. It's probably not going to get too much warmer than that today. But early tomorrow morning, we could get sub-zero, below 0 degrees. Meanwhile, you go down farther to the south and we're above freezing, 40s and 50s down in Oklahoma and Texas, but it is still cold today. I have a sneak peek in the forecast, okay? It will warm up. It will warm up, but not today. It's going to stay cold today. A decent amount of snow across the Virginias and across North and South Dakota as well. We've got some people on here watching from Texarkana. No snow in Texarkana today. However, it's very cold in that area. We're feeling it in Oklahoma as well. Basically, where the snow is up in the northern portion of the U.S. We've got some snow in Denver, some nice skiing weather up here. Nice skiing weather out to the west as well. Well, maybe not today, but over the next few days it may get a little bit better. Let's go ahead and talk about your severe weather. Well, I know we've got people from Dallas, Texarkana watching today. I know that we've got some Oklahoma people as well. Where is that severe weather? It's December. It's one of the quietest months for severe weather. The least amount of tornadoes happen in this month on average. And we are not expecting any severe weather today or tomorrow, so no significant hail expected for today. Monday, anything on Tuesday? No. Anything on Wednesday? Probably not. We are staying very, very quiet in terms of severe weather for now, and a lot of this is thanks to a lack of moisture that's coming up from the Gulf. We really just don't have a ton of moisture at all across the southern states. We have a ton of moisture across the northern states, and again, I talked about that atmospheric river that's bringing those flood and snow concerns to the northern portion of the U.S. We've got snow across North and South Dakota as well. Lots and lots of moisture, but it's a U.S. divided, where if you just drew a line in the middle of the U.S., you would go to the north and find all of this moisture, go to the south and find nothing. Now, this does concern me for our fire concerns out in our Four Corners later on this month. So we're going to hope for a little bit more moisture later on this month. We'll take a look at those long-term moisture and precipitation graphics here in just a few minutes, but I want to go up to the northwest first and talk about that flood outlook for both today and tomorrow. We are at a level 2 risk here for flash flooding, definitely possible over the next 3 or 4 days. So all the way into the middle of the work week, we're going to stay very wet in the northern portion of the U.S. You go out to the east and you've got all of that snow for today, but I think after today you'll stay dry for a good portion of the rest of the week. Let's take a look at today. Tuesday, all the way into early tomorrow morning, we're still watching for snow across the northern portion of the U.S. and then incoming to the Midwest. So watch this as this is incoming to places like Michigan and Wisconsin over the next 24 hours. So we're talking about early tomorrow morning. You guys are going to get snow in the northern tip of Michigan once again. And we've got a lot going on for our watches and warnings today. Let's break this down for you. Anything that's highlighted in purple, pink, or blue is going to be your winter weather watches, advisories, and warnings. They're highlighted in purple. That is your winter weather advisory. Highlighted in pink is your winter storm warning. Now, a lot of times, the National Weather Service will issue that winter storm warning because of blowing snow. It's not necessarily how much snow you're going to get, but if it's blowing in front of you across the roadway, it will decrease your visibility drastically, and it will be very, very difficult to see in front of you. And that's what we're seeing up in the northern portion of the U.S. as well, where we have a winter storm watch in place for later on tonight and through early tomorrow morning that could once again decrease that visibility on the roadways, bring a lot of snow to the area. Tricky travel conditions, school cancellations are absolutely possible anywhere from the northern portion of Minnesota and all the way down into Wisconsin, and I'd probably add Michigan in that as well as we head into the rest of the day tomorrow. Other places are not only dealing with cold temperatures, but also very high wind. So we have a high wind advisory and a high wind warning for North and South Dakota, all the way into Montana and portions of Wyoming. It's going to be very, very windy in these areas with gusts up to 40 to 55 miles an hour. A very, very impressive windstorm expected across the northern portion of the U.S. And then if you go all the way out to the west, that's where you have those flood watches and warnings as well. Taking a look at your snow accumulation here, while we're watching really for the East Coast today, our attention turns up to the north for tomorrow as we have that next round of snow moving in. Now, I always, we talk about a lot of states here, so as always, if you have any weather questions, put those in the comments section. Grab a drink of water real quick, and then we'll move on. I appreciate you guys being patient with me today. I don't know if it's allergies or the cold weather, but I'm a little dehydrated today. So let's go ahead and move on to Tuesday. You can see all of that snow, rain, and winter mix that's moving across the Dakotas and into Minnesota for tomorrow. We've got the Midwest, especially the northern side of the Midwest, in the path for snow, the southern side more in the path for rain, as we have this very fast-moving system moving through our northern states. This is what we call a clipper system. This system is named Clipper System because way back in the day, we had these very fast-moving ships, and we called them clippers. Also, a very well-known basketball team as well. Named after those same ships, and basically what that means is it's a very fast-moving system, just like that fast-moving ship. So this will only last about 24 to 48 hours here, but it could do a lot in the meantime, bringing us lots of snow and lots of rain. But again, as I mentioned earlier, not expecting any severe weather. This will be more of a northern issue over the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, down in the south, we do see a warm-up coming for us, especially if you're on the west coast. So let's go ahead and move into our temperatures here. Very, very cold up to the north, again, thanks to that clipper system, where we see temperatures below 0 as we head into the next 24 hours for some of us. Others are going to see that warm up. We've got temperatures in the 60s tomorrow here in Oklahoma City, 62 in Dallas. We had some people from Texarkana joining us today. You're also warming up to the 60s. Ozzy is on here saying snow for Toronto on Wednesday. No thank you, from Toronto, Canada. Yeah, that's not the only chance for snow that you guys have. You guys will absolutely get more snow here. It's going to be, again, a fast-moving system, so it's not going to last for too long, but you could get a decent amount of snow. Jack Jordan saying, is Denver, Colorado going to get snow? Well, you guys got some snow. Let me see what your forecast is. Go back here. It looks like it'll warm above freezing tomorrow in Denver, 56 in Denver. That's pretty nice. Here we go. Oh, okay, snowfall totals over the next 24 hours. Yeah, it looks like just to the west of Denver could get some snows could get some snow as you go up into the upper elevations. But that's about it. Not a ton of snow in Denver over the next 24 hours. You may get a little bit of moisture from the northwest. That would be your best chance for snow, but it doesn't look very promising. No, especially whenever you are above freezing, you may have to go out to those mountainous regions for winter weather. But as I mentioned, we do have a warm-up on the way. Temperatures are going to warm up above average for the west coast and a good portion of the central U.S. It looks like 10 to 15 degrees above average on Tuesday. As we look to Wednesday, even warmer. So we do see a little bit of a warm-up before that next blast of cold air comes once again into our northern states. We have another system, another dip in the jet stream here, bringing down that cold Canadian air into the Midwest, into the northern portion of the U.S., and that's once again as temperatures get below freezing, and for some of us, below zero. Holy moly, it's going to be cold into the work week. What about as we head into the middle of December? Well, it looks like once again we are a U.S. divided. You could once again draw a line just down the middle of the U.S. straight through the plains and say anything to the east, cold temperatures, anything to the west, warmer temperatures. Now it's not warm, but it's warmer than average, above average temperatures. And you can do the same thing for wet weather as well. Precipitation looking a lot more promising up to the north, not as promising down to the south. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this prolonged time period with a lack of rain or snow in this area could lead to fire conditions increasing as we head into the end of December. It's not what I like to see. Those fire dangers could be pretty bad this time of the year and as we head into January and February, so we want that wet weather now. Unfortunately, it does not look like we're getting that, especially in the southern portion of the U.S. And that's your forecast today. I think that we answered all of your weather questions. I know it's packed with winter weather. Make sure, especially in those areas that we talked about that are having winter weather advisories, watches, and warnings, that you're checking your local weather for the most up-to-date areas with snow bands. We do a lot with severe weather. We don't do as much with winter weather here at HailTrace. But as always, if you are in some of those areas that do not have any winter weather, you can get out, get on roofs, go track down those areas that were hit with storms earlier on this season. We had a ton of storms in March and May and April and June and July. And so this is the time to go ahead and go back to those areas that may have been missed earlier on this year. Give us a call for a map at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com, for more information at what we do here at HailTrace. We have over 15 meteorologists. I think we counted earlier. It was 17 meteorologists here at HailTrace. So as always, we are always tracking the weather. Follow us for more weather information, and we will see you back here, same time, same place.